Check out the casting net throwing. What the heck? Ew! It's the dead fish we killed! Did you get it out?
Yeah, it fell out up there.
Yeah, it fell out up here.
Want me to reach around and feel for it?
No! We're on Lake Lanier, Reagan. What do you think?
Can't breathe. I don't want to sit down.
Pectoral fins. The head will be in the palm of your hand. Lay the fish on its side on a flat surface.
Who caught that?
Locate the end of the rib cage. With your right hand,
No, you
angle the
didn't.
electric parallel to the
Will went
angle
on the
towards
boat with
back.
Austin fishing, and Austin caught this giant catfish. Will did not catch a fish. He caught tiny fish, but not a big guy.
Once the backbone is
And so now
reached,
Will's
turn the
cutting
blade
it 'cause they're planning to eat it.
parallel. You need to cut along the backbone until you reach the tail.
Okay, so I haven't recorded on this camera in a bit. I've been using my cell phone to do vlogs. I need to get in front of the computer and edit a video. Erica came over yesterday with Heather, of course, and we made yogurt drops. So in here, I need to buy more yogurt, but the boat's hooked up, which is fine because realistically I probably wouldn't even be going out. But it's peanut butter mixed with yogurt and banana. But I'm gonna put them in the yogurt puffs container. And she's eating one now. I read that they melt pretty quick. I didn't follow a specific recipe. I just followed the concept. And we bought these silicone molds at Michael's. And this waffle one is easy because it's big. But then we bought letters, which are super cute because, you know, Reagan can learn her letters. But realistically, this is probably going to be a pain in the butt to get out. The waffles were good. They're bigger, but not the letters. These were a bad idea. I'll see if Erica can do anything with this. I thought they'd be fun, but they're just realistically too small. She said Jell-O might work better for filling it. Happy anniversary, William.
Happy anniversary, Casey.
So today marks the day me and Will have been officially married for 4 years. We are 1 year closer to our divorce party. I'm kidding, stop.
I'm not.
This is a funky card. Just begins with K. For your protection.
Put that down.
Do you know what this is? No. What the hell is this? Slide through? Or
Nope.
it just stays right there?
Just stays right there.
Okay. Oh, thank you. How do I look?
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
Do I look sexy? So it goes on your nightstand, and you can put your watch charger through it,
Okay.
and you can hang it here, and you can feed your phone thing through here, and you just pop your like wallet there.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm confused at what I dropped though.
I was gonna have to look it up. I didn't know there. I know it has your name on it. I wanted to add to your collection of 40
this is
bathing suits.
Bathing suits. Hell yes. I think I'll wear this to work tomorrow. Hell yes, Ray. What do you say? Which one do you want?
So Will made Loco Moco the other night for dinner, and we had leftovers naturally. And so when I cooked up Reagan's breakfast egg, I thought it would be a good idea to add in some Loco Moco, and she loves it. She says it's really good. I don't know if you hear that, but Kona's pretty upset at Copper, who is eyeing her food. She is being a prude and is not eating, but is laying there. For the record, we did shave our dogs. Okay, so obviously I cut my hair. I guess I hadn't recorded a video announcing that. And I got some bangs. My hair is also shorter in the back, but it's tied up right now. So hopefully it looks good. If not, it'll grow out and, you know, you'll see it in its old form. So I am wearing an exercise outfit, as you can tell. Da-da-da-da. Me and Will went to the store and we got a bunch of gear because we are racing to see who can run first to a 10-minute mile. So we are going head to head to see who can do it first. And then we have to do it, obviously, to prove it in front of one another. And we both have Apple Watches, so that's the way that we are going about it. I was thinking before we got onto this 10-minute mile idea that I aspire, I guess, to run a 4K. And then I really said I wanted to run a marathon, having not realized that there is a huge difference between the two. I'm not gonna lie, I quickly got burnt out with that idea. I felt like it was really unreachable for where I'm at right now. I ran yesterday for the first time. I honestly did not think that I would be running for quite a while. I thought that I'll just work my way in my walk speed and then eventually I'll run. But I'm not even sure how long I can actually run without stopping. And I am very excited to share with you that I am a lot better than I thought I was. I ran a mile in 10 minutes and 46 seconds. I do not know how I managed that. That is the number per my watch. I believed in my head it was slightly more in seconds, but according to my watch, that's when I hit that 1 mile mark. As I thought in my head, okay, I'm gonna stop, a car would be coming, and I thought, I don't want to stop in front of them. They're gonna think, wow, she couldn't hold it and she didn't have it in her. And then as I would continue walking, people were outside doing yard work, or there were kids playing on the playground, and I kept thinking, just get past them and then we can stop. And I think that between that, seeing Will, and for him to think, dang, you're still running, I feel like that motivated me to keep going. But I was so exhausted. I'm pretty confident that I was gonna pass out. But I managed to keep going. By the time I did stop, let's see, by the time I stopped, I had stopped for just a little bit. I would say probably a minute to 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes of my time. I probably quickly walked around, and then I saw Will again and I picked up the jog. So I think I did pretty good. I did not think that I could pull that off. In fact, I kind of think it's a fluke. So if tonight I were to jog again, I'm not really confident that I can get it that high again, or I can maintain such low of a number. But yeah, it makes me think that if I didn't stop jogging the entire time, I would have made it in 10 minutes. Honestly, I didn't think that I was that in shape. Good morning. So, as usual, very good at recording videos, terrible at assembling them. Ugh, Reagan. Home. I am feeding Reagan. Let me show you. That's her. She's eating. She's got big old face full of food. She has some chicken and veggie mix puree. That's homemade. Some avocado, and then some eggs that I whipped up. You standing? Why don't you stand? Stand for the camera. Why don't you stand without holding on? I know you know how. You know how to show off, Paige. You know how to show off. So a few weeks ago, I was reached out to by a long-distance cousin. I met her once in person, and she's related to me through my father's bloodline. I'm super mixed. I know generally, without having taken a DNA test to confirm what makes me me, but I don't have too many connections family bloodline wise where people can trace back to kind of how we got here or who married whom and, you know, essentially where we came from. But on my father's side, through his father, they are aware of kind of where their story started in terms of coming to the United States. And I think that's the strongest background understanding I have, because I am familiar with my grandmother's side, again, through my father, and everything on my mother's side is incredibly vague. We don't really have too much understanding there, but through my father's father, we have a lot of understanding. And so they came over from Assyria back in the day, and they came over and brought on heart illness and so forth. So I met a long-distance cousin a few years back, and she had actually reached out when she finally became aware of my father's passing. We talked about a lot of different things, of course, catching up and just kind of getting an understanding of more of each other, just because our interaction prior to was very small and short. One of the things that she had mentioned during our conversation was that she is aware of our bloodline containing elevated levels of a cholesterol called lipoprotein A. And I hope she never thought I thought nothing of the conversation, because it sparked a huge interest, and I did some research. I'm still not super familiar with all the various forms of good and bad cholesterol, but lipoprotein is a very specific form of bad cholesterol, and it's not really researched too much today. And it's mainly because even if you come back and test results suggest you have elevated levels, there's not a way to bring them down. It's just solely based on your genetics. And diet and exercise do affect bad cholesterol, but they really only target things such as LDL, not LPA. And as far as good cholesterol, I'm in the normal levels. I think that's just HDL. I'm not super, again, familiar with cholesterol. I know you take statins and they help, blood pressure medication, aspirin, and you're good to go. So I don't really know too much more. I know you place stents to open up the blood flow. Need something a little bit more permanent or long-term, a bypass is the better way to go, though it brings on various risk factors. Beyond that, I don't know too much about hearts and cardiac health. I have gone to cardiologists in the past for palpitations. I have been prescribed beta blockers, but everything's been very benign, and I have had generally normal results. So beyond just making sure I am at a healthy weight and finishing what I started a few months back, there's not really too much more in my power I can do in relation to my heart health. I am still in my 20s. Generally speaking, I'm going to be pretty healthy, pretty normal. It's uncommon for someone at my age, uncommon, not impossible, for someone at my age to be aware of a more serious ailment, but right now everything's more than likely going to be normal. I have on Monday a follow-up because I had an appointment established with a cardiologist here in Atlanta. I specifically looked for a cardiologist that was familiar with LPA because I wanted to get that very specific test performed. And so after calling a bunch of places and talking to different practices, I went with this particular practice, and they decided after our first visit to go ahead and screen me for a cholesterol deep reading. They suggested as well like various CAT scans, like calcium scans, to see if potential problems. But again, based on my age, as long as our results continue to tread normal, there's no reason to start to do deeper tests, because not only is it just more so a waste of time, but you're looking for something that's not really there, or you'll find something and there's nothing you can do about it, I guess. But anyway, those test results came back. They're available, and I'm able to see them online, even though I have a follow-up appointment to go over them more intricately on Monday. But it looks like everything is, I want to say, generally borderline high, but borderline moderate as well. I just don't understand this stuff, so it's kind of hard to explain it because I don't even understand it myself. So the LDL as a whole was normal, though things such as particle numbers, peak size, small and medium LDL, those were abnormal. Those were elevated where they shouldn't be. Some of them were moderately elevated by a couple points, and then some of them were about 100 or so nanomoles per liter off of what it should have been. So it's high, but it could be higher, you know? And so I know at this point in time, realistically, I know, again, not talking lipoprotein A, but realistically, I am overweight. I was striving to lose weight. Life as usual happened and things got tough, and my diet kind of became a second priority to everything going on. But since being home again, it's been a really big goal to finish what I started, especially as me and Will decide to continue to expand our family. I do not know when we will have baby number 2. As TMI as it was to share, my period had returned last time. It's not come back since, and it's been a couple months. And so I'm not taking anything to avoid a pregnancy. We're not doing anything to avoid one, but I don't even think I'm ovulating. I'm still breastfeeding. Reagan's about to be 1 year old, and it's not really returned. I know when it does come back, it's not going to come back to the standard cycle that will take place eventually, and I know I am very normal, but I know that when it first returns, it's not going to be normal. But I'm okay with it going from, let's say, 28 days to 35, but for it to go from, wow, it's back, and I'm expecting 28 days, but to not see it for 60 plus days tells me it's not really back. That must have just been a fluke. And so anyway, I'm not sure when I'm really fully back, but we are looking to expand our family, and so I know that with pregnancy comes weight gain, and I'm not going to be hard on myself and put all these crazy expectations as far as the weight in which I will or won't gain, but I do want to ensure that I'm starting from a healthy, normal weight range. That way, if I do go up, it's not going to put myself or the baby in harm's way. And also, there's literally no reason to eat so much food. There's not. Long story short, I know that my results came back a bit borderline to high. I don't know if the doctor will recommend I take something as a preventative moving forward at this point, or if it will just be something where let's watch it and then in a few years take another test just to see. I know either way, though, Reagan. I know either way the recommendation will be to move more and eat less. And so those are something I don't need a doctor to tell me. I can just do that. So I think with mine and Will's current goal of racing to attend... Dude, Reagan is being so distracting in the background. Yeah, you. Me and Will are currently racing to a 10-minute mile. My ultimate goal is to have a 7-minute mile. Not 7 minutes and so many seconds. Literally 6 minutes and so many seconds. It cannot be a second over 7. That is my personal goal. I don't have a deadline as to when I want to reach that, but I feel if I can run a 7-minute mile, I'm in pretty good shape. Because that is pretty much running without stopping. And then if I am jogging, a quick jog speed, more of a fast in-between run jog. I don't know if there's a better word for that